All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first mental performance training of the 2025-2026 club volleyball season. I am Coach Busy. I will be here with you guys throughout the season. For those that were part of Sting last year, you know me from leadership meetings, you know me from doing these videos. Maybe I've done meetings with your team. For those that are new to Sting this year, welcome. This is also a really great part of what Milwaukee Sting does, monthly mental performance trainings, monthly leadership meetings, and I'm excited to be at all of those with you this year. Our first topic of the year is going to be owning our way. This is our first training of the season for the month of December. So a little bit of an introduction, what mental performance training is. It helps us have consistent and confident performance. We work on things like emotional regulation, kind of how to manage big feelings while we're playing our sport, focus, concentration, and motivation, kind of normal stuff there. We can work on communication skills, especially in volleyball, is really important. How to bounce back from injury and how to recover from that with really good mental skills, and then some team bonding and some teamwork as well. For the month of December, our mental skills will be related to the topic of owning our way, growing the Sting way with a solid foundation. And we'll get into what that means. So, what does our way mean? What is the Sting way? First and foremost, the pillars of what the Sting way is, competing with grit, with unity, and with pride. Grit really means maximum effort at all times. It means competing in the face of adversity, bouncing back from mistakes, all the good stuff. Unity is a lot of treating our teammates with support and putting the team above yourself. So anything you do, making sure it is for the sake of the team and not just for yourself. And then the pride aspect representing the Milwaukee Sting name with pride on the court and off the court and the way you carry yourself. And finally, kind of like I mentioned, having a growth mindset. We know a fixed mindset means this is the way things are and we can't change it. Growth mindset is here's the way I can change my situation at any given time. So, kind of all encompassing what the Stingway is and the importance of not just part of our teams and our coaches and parents using this, but the entire club, everyone that's part of it, myself included, representing the Stingway, with grit, with our unity, and with our pride. So in these videos that you guys know from if you were with me last year, we'll always have an activity to do so you guys can reflect on our topic and kind of continue to grow in what we're learning. So the activity today is related to how each of us can be part of the Stingway starting in the month of December. So I said the Stingway only works if each person on your team is committed to it. One way to stay committed is to set goals or promises to yourself. If you have those, you're kind of holding yourself accountable to do the things that we want to do. So I'll have a couple prompts on the next slide. I want you to reflect on them, write them down, and then at your next practice, share your goals with your coaches so they can help hold you accountable. It's a big thing I want to try to do this year is link our videos and what you're doing, have some self-reflection, but then bring that to our coaches and our teammates just so we're all on the same page and it encourages all of us doing these things as well. Really quickly, a good outline for goal setting. So a lot of times when we set goals, it's like winning or I want to do well, I want to play well. Those goals are great because it helps us think of ourselves succeeding, but it doesn't really tell us what to do. So I want your goals on the next slide when we do the prompts to be specific. So instead of saying something like, I will work hard, you could say, I will work hard in every drill at practice. Measurable, you can say something like, I will give myself a rating scale after practice, 1 to 10, and how hard I work today at practice. Achievable, so things that you can actually do. So not like I will win the Olympics in the month of December, but something that you can actually do. Relevant, so just really related to the sport and your practices and what you're capable of, and time sensitive. So if you said something like, I will work out for 2 hours every single day and 5 hours on the weekends, that's great, but maybe you don't have the time to do that, and that's really important to consider. So make sure our goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time sensitive. So here is our first prompt. I want you guys to make sure you have a piece of paper and something to write with, or you can also pop open the Notes app on your phone. That works as well, as long as you have a way to share it with your coaches when you are done. So you could share these at practice with your coaches, or you can text it to them or email it to them, or however you communicate with your coaches for the year. And so the first prompt has to do with grit. I want you to think about how you will be a gritty player for your team in the month of December. The example I gave is I will bounce back quickly from mistakes. So that's holding yourself accountable for that. So pause the video and answer that first question now. All right, resume the video when you are ready for prompt number two related to unity. How will you put your team first in the month of December? My example is I will warm up with a different teammate each day. That really promotes unity. So something related to that or unrelated, how will you put your team first in the month of December? Pause the video and answer that question now. All right, resume the video when you're ready for our last prompt, which is related to pride. How will you show Sting pride off the court in December? So the first two are kind of related to in practice on the court. The third one's related to off the court. How will you show your Sting pride off the court in December? So the example I gave is I will be respectful when wearing Sting gear. I personally love wearing my Sting gear like when I work out or go to the gym. And I think that that's a great thing that I wear with pride. So how you show your pride doesn't have to be related to stinker. It could be related to posting on Instagram, promoting the club, anything like that. How are you show your Sting pride off the court in December? Pause the video and answer that question. All right, my last thing is, like I said before, making sure you're sharing your answers with your coaches somehow and keep these in a place you'll see them. So your coaches can hold you accountable, but I want you guys to be looking at these in any given day or before your practices to make sure that you can continue to do these things and really live out the Sting way. All right, last, continuing throughout the year and kind of our next step. So number one, make sure that your teammates are also upholding the standards of the Sting Way. Be comfortable holding each other accountable. If people are doing things in practice or off the court that you think do not align with the Sting Way, it's important to have conversations around that. It's important to talk to coaches about that. Number two, talk with your team about how you guys as a group can play the Stingway, especially in the month of December. We want this throughout the entire season, of course, but I think it's great to focus on setting a good base and foundation for the month of December. So the next thing you guys can do is talk as a group, how you're going to do that in each practice, and any scrimmages you're doing and off the court as well. And then third is being okay with your coaches holding you accountable and vice versa to be consistent in your practice of the Stingway. So making sure the coaches are doing this, making sure you guys are doing this every single practice. We don't want to let up of any practice, be like, well, that wasn't really the Stingway, and that's okay. We want to make sure that we actually are being consistent with this. Um, Last but not least, as I always end these videos, was saying, let's go get it. Let's get after it. I think that December is a really fun month because it's all training and it's all really setting a good foundation for the season. And so making sure you guys are really on top of that. I will be in at Sting in December on Tuesday, the 2nd. So I will be there. If you've met me or haven't met me or just want to say hi or ask me any questions, come up and find me. I'll be running the leadership meetings. And if you ever want to talk with me one-on-one, reach out to me through my email and or talk to someone at Sting and they can get you in contact with me. And as per usual, let's go Sting.